Tell me about Memphis that I don't already know.
There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the street.
I don't already know.
Yeah, it's Memphis 360.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
In the meantime,
It's Memphis 360.
In the meantime, in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Anybody said a word. We've become accustomed to people dying in this city.
Yeah, it's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones and see young people that are out of control. And now see, okay. We talk about incarceration. We talk about the youth. We talk about giving them the ability. We talk about investing in young people and investing in the community. See, I hate ignorance. I hate when people make decisions about things and they make statements and they haven't done their research.
How can you fix the problem when you don't even know what the problem is?
We need some help in this city.
It's Memphis 360.
See, I hate ignorance.
It's Memphis 360.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Memphis 360, the television show that we say we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. And I always explain to you that in order to lead the city, in order to do the things that is going to be the most effective to affect the citizenry of this city, at some point, those individuals that are in charge have to get in tune with what's going on in the streets, have to get in tune with what the citizens want, have to truly represent the citizenry that elected them to be in those offices. Now, we don't just talk about the politicians, but, you know, we are in a dire predicament in this city with all of the crime, with all of the things that are happening that are directly affecting the citizens in this city. It is imperative and very important that we put individuals in office because this is an election cycle. And you're going to have all of these people that are going to be coming out. They want to shake hands. They want to buy you hot dogs. They want you to come to the fish fry. You know, they want to come to your church. They want to come to your park. They want to come to your reunion this summer. They want to come to your Labor Day event. And you need to be looking at them with the side eye. Because look at what have they already done in the community. Look at the things that they're doing in the community. If they have not represented individuals, if they have not been out there working in your community, if they have not been representing people's best interests, then you might want to think twice about voting for those individuals. I know some of you knew that I was running for city court clerk. A couple of weeks ago, the city council voted to take that off the ballot, and that's fine. Some people are saying, Michael, you need to file a lawsuit. Nope, not going to do it. You know, when the citizens allow these individuals to continuously do what they do, because in 1975, the citizens voted to put it on the ballot, but they did not include it in the charter. Now, the sensible thing to me would have been to put it in the charter because the citizens have already voted. What they're saying is they're going to wait till the next election cycle, put it on the ballot to see if, in fact, the citizens want it to be an elected position. Well, the citizens in 1975 already said that. See, these are the type of things that upset me, and people wonder why I talk so crazy sometimes and why I look at these politicians with the side eye, because they deserve the side eye. And what has really, really, really just got under my skin in regards to this is the fact that you have Mr. J.B. Smiley, who got with, what is his name, Canali and Carlisle, because they don't want it to be an elected positions because, and I don't mean to make this a racial thing, but that position will probably never be held by a Caucasian in this city again because the city is predominantly African American. So how do you get it back under the control of, say, like a Jim Strickland? You make it so that Mr. Strickland can appoint somebody to that position. Come on, people. You got to get smart. You got to get smart. You got to think past what you actually see. You got to look down the road to see what it is that they're trying to do. Okay? But if we continue to allow them to do things like that, then hey, so be it. You know, I was going to run for city council, but I am reconsidering that because I would have to make sacrifices in my family. I'm already retired from the police department. So they would stop my retirement. Then I would get the little salary from the city council. Now, some people will say, well, yeah, but you can be a voice, Michael. We really want you to be a voice because you don't mind telling them. And I'm going to tell you, I really had to pray about it because I want to be that voice. But I also have to consider my family and how much over the course of the years my family has already sacrificed. I should have been a major, colonel on the police department, but I stayed at the police association. And in order to do that, I had to forego getting promotions. Because if I would have made lieutenant, they would have moved me out of there, okay? So my family has been making sacrifices for a very long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at some of the elections that are going to be coming up. God has put it on my mind about county mayor. God has put it on my mind to possibly run for another clerk position in the county because I think we've done a lot of good things over in General Sessions. Clerk Brown has allowed me the ability to run that operation, and we've made some great strides and made a lot of headway when it comes to locating money that has been gone, when it comes to putting things in place that's going to make it more conducive for citizens to get their expungements and services in the court system, because we definitely need to have good representation for those individuals that are trying to navigate the civil court and the criminal court. And I will tell you, anybody that gets arrested comes through General Sessions. So General Sessions in Shelby County is the largest court system in the state of Tennessee. A lot of y'all didn't know that. We have 6 civil divisions and 10 criminal divisions. Actually 9 criminal divisions, and they just added the bail review room. So we are making a lot of headway. We got a no-cost expungement clinic coming up in August. You know, we've been doing things like that. Clerk Brown has been waiving fees so that individuals can actually get their records clean. We got guys that are coming through the program that have did something 30 years ago and just never got their records clean. So for 30 years, they haven't been able to get jobs, decent jobs to support their family. You know, I like doing stuff like that. I like trying to restore citizens. Now, I'm not talking about them bad knuckleheads that are out here robbing, killing, and stealing. You know, I'm a firm believer that you don't have to just be all one way. I don't like these. I don't like individuals that hurt people. I don't like them. That's Mike Williams. I don't like them. Okay? And I think whatever they get, they deserve. Actually, I think some of the penalties should be a lot stiffer. That's Mike Williams. But I do understand you have individuals that make mistakes or individuals that get caught up in a circumstance. And I think they need to be afforded a second opportunity to get themselves together because they could be a productive part of society. And they could help us with some of this because a lot of them understand exactly what's going on in them streets or they've been through something. You know, we got recovering drug addicts. Yeah. That are doing miraculous and marvelous things, helping to get people off drugs, but they have a passion for that. We had, you know, I preached a sermon one time if I could just open up your closet, yeah, I'm an ordained minister too. Jack of all trades, master of none. And the reason I preach the sermon, if I could just open up your closet, because a lot of us become so sanctimonious, we become so holy that we forget, you got 7 kids by 7 different men, but now you done found Jesus. Well, guess what? Some of these young people are going through some of the things that you went through. It's a little bit different than back in the day when we were coming up. But some of these individuals do deserve an opportunity. But for these individuals that are out here carjacking and robbing and stealing and killing, I don't care if you're 13 or you're 40. I think you need to be dealt with. But see, we have to have the ability to differentiate between those that are trying, those that can be saved, and those that can't. Okay? And we can't just lump everybody into one group or one category, because that's how we lose everybody. And that's how we continue to stay in the same cycle that we're in. But we can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. We can't do that. Okay? Man, I got a marvelous show for you tonight. I'm excited. I'm always excited, though. I got 2 beautiful young ladies in the studio tonight, and I just found out that both of them are law enforcement. Well, I knew about Lieutenant Claudette Boyd of the Memphis Police Department, Miss Orange Mound of the Orange Mound COAC. She held it down over there, y'all. Miss Boyd was renowned throughout the city of Memphis and the community as being that individual that was the model for community policing, the individual that worked in the Orange Mound with the citizens to ensure that they were being policed, but at the same time that the Orange Mound COAC showed compassion. They work with the senior citizens. They work with the children in the community. They extended that arm because they were a part of the community. And Miss Boyd actually lives in Orange Mound still to this day. Okay? So those are the type of people in the past we had police in this city. But I also just found out, and I didn't know it, and I've been knowing Miss Barksdale for about 20-some years. My play sister that I grew up with right across the street, Pam Brazil, my baby, used to live right by Miss Barksdale. So I used to go visit Pam, and Miss Barksdale and Pam were neighbors. So they used to hang out. And this was before she lived in Orange Mound. She lived off of Prescott. So now she's been doing all of these great, wonderful things in Orange Mound. She's become a community activist. She's standing up for the people in Orange Mound. She's being a voice for the people in Orange Mound. And she's also working with a lot of the different candidates. I know one in specific. Well, I know 2 in specific. She worked with Miss Wanda Halbert. Then she worked with my girl, my niece, Brittany Thornton. And guess what? They're serving. A lot of people, I went out to the shelter when Brittany was having that, when they had Change for Change and all that other kind of stuff, and Juice Orange Mound. And, a lot of people have been trying to do a lot of great and wonderful things in Orange Mound. I was just out there a couple of weeks ago when they had Stop the Killing, Cut the Beef. Orange Mound is one of the oldest African-American communities in the United States, not just the city of Memphis, but in the United States. But I found out also that Miss Barksdale, Angela, was on the sheriff department. What? Small world. So we have 2 law enforcement young ladies in the building tonight. We're going to talk about, they want to talk about the Mid-South Coliseum. I used to be a part of the Coliseum Coalition. We were trying to ensure that the Coliseum survived. And there was some stink made, some noise made, and it kind of put Mr. Strickland off a little bit. I call names, so I'm sorry. It put him off a little bit because they wanted to tear that thing down a long time ago. And they've been trying to get rid of it. But it means something to some of us in this community. We have ties to it, okay? So Ms. Boyd and Ms. Barksdale want to talk about the Mid-South Coliseum. And we're going to do that. But before I do that real quick, I also want to tell you that there's some disgruntled police officers right now. I've had a lot of police officers approach me, and they've been telling me that, Chief C.J. Jones, C.J. Davis, and Dude Jones, whatever his name is, because I could care less because I'm not a police officer. All right? But they don't respect the MOU, I'm hearing. I'm hearing they're doing things outside the MOU and they think that the MOU is a hindrance. Do they not know that the police officers went on strike? They gave a lot to be able to put that memorandum in place, and that memorandum is an agreement. It's not something that the city of Memphis did not agree to. It is not something that the police officers in the city did not agree to. That's how you have cohesive, a good working relationship, a understanding. It's in writing. But I'm finding out that Chief C.J. Davis is not wanting to adhere to the MOU. And she thinks that the MOU is a hindrance and it's getting in her way. That MOU, ma'am, is there for a reason. And it's there to protect the officers, their rights, and to protect the police department and the city of Memphis as well. It's kind of like those DRs that y'all got. You understand? So what if the police officer said they didn't want to adhere to your department regulations? You'd be ready to charge them. Give them 60 days, 50 days, 25 days, whatever. And then you loosely use the charging system anyway. I'm going to tell you something. I've left you alone. I've left whatever his name, Jones, alone. But you're getting on my radar. I've tried to respect you. But see, when you become disrespectful, I become disrespectful. And anybody in this city know I can be disrespectful, real disrespectful. And guess what? I can be really disrespectful now because I'm not on the police department and you're going to pay me every month. How about that? As long as I don't get convicted of a felony, go to jail, and all that good stuff, I'm not covered by DR 136. Look it up. I still know social media. They can't talk, but I can. And you better believe I'm going to represent them probably until the day I die. Because I'm law enforcement through and through, and I'm also a citizen of this city, a product of this city, a native of this city. And I love this city. And I'm not going to let some outsiders come in and tear up my city because they want to bring you in here to be a voice for them, okay? But anyway, hey, that's just the beginning, Miss Davis, Mr. Jones, because I'm coming back, I promise you, because officers keep coming to me. I'm trying to stay out your business. They trying to bring me in your business, Mr. Strickland. Yes, anyway. We're going to go ahead on and we're going to take a real quick commercial break because I want to get to these ladies and I want to talk about the Mid-South Coliseum because that's something near and dear to my heart. And me and Miss Claudette Board, we were talking at Stop the Killing, Cut the Beef with Keith Leachman and the community. Going to throw the whole community in there because Orange Mound came out, baby. So we were talking about, hey, that's the first place I saw me, the Jackson 5. That's the first place I saw Taste of Honey. The first place I saw Bootsy Collins. The first place I saw Frankie Beverly and Mays. And she jumped on James Brown. That's a little bit too much for me, but you know, hey, that's who she liked, all right? She graduated from in the Coliseum. I went to wrestling in the Coliseum. I have ties to the Coliseum, yes, and it's a wonderful structure. It just needs to be redone, repurposed, reutilized. So we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back with Miss Angela Barksdale and Miss Claudette Boyd of Orange Mound and save the Coliseum. So don't touch that dial, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with Hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Esau. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Esau put you in your brand new truck or car today. When you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family-owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
You're talking about a good time shield. When we all come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe tapping, hand clapping, down and home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene to help cut bacteria by 99.9%. Ladies, let's protect the most precious jewel in the world, you.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins do not make any medically backed claims or personal recommendations of any kind. For more information, contact Marilyn McGee.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you back to Memphis 360, the television show. We say you got to be able to go from the boardroom to the streets in order to fix the ills and woes here in the city of Memphis. And believe me, we got a lot of them. And what we're going to talk about now is the Mid-South Coliseum. I have Miss Angela Barksdale. Yay! And we have Miss Claudette Boyd. Yay! In the studio today, Miss Angela Barksdale, believe it or not, used to be on the sheriff department, and now she's a community activist doing all kinds of great and wonderful things out there in Orange Mound. And she is currently the campaign manager for a friend of mine, Jared Price. A friend of mine. He is a friend, Jared Price, okay? And we have Miss Claudette Boyd, who is a former lieutenant on the Memphis Police Department, still lives in Orange Mound, doing things out there, being an activist for the community of Orange Mound. And she was the commander, the lieutenant, over the Orange Mound COAC. Wow. We talk about Speedy Corner and all that stuff up there, that used to be Lieutenant Boyd's area. So, but they're here to talk about the Mid-South Coliseum. So introduce yourself, Miss Angela. Tell the people who you are.
Hello, Memphis. Thanks for having us on your show, Mike.
Oh, most definitely.
Currently, I'm on the board of Save the Mid-South Coliseum.
Okay.
I'm also a political analyst, and I'm a native Orange Mound resident. Grew up there, still there, and will always be in Orange Mound.
Did you go to Melrose?
I most certainly did.
So
Class
you're
of
a golden wildcat?
I'm a golden wildcat.
That's okay. We'll forgive you.
You Hamilton?
We'll forgive you.
She is too.
I thought you knew.
We'll forgive you.
You Hamilton?
No, I'm a Manassite.
Oh.
I am from the oldest African American high school here in the city of Memphis. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay.
But I appreciate you having us here because we want to get the word out about the Coliseum.
Okay.
About what's going on with the Coliseum.
Okay.
And I think this is something that the public needs to know, be made aware of, and move forward with it.
Okay.
Ms. Claudette Boyd, initially the Coliseum Coalition did not have the face that it needed to have.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Y'all know me.
Okay.
And so I asked Ms. Claudette Boyd, Mr. Corey Strong, to come forth to put another spin on what we're trying to do.
Okay.
And I appreciate Ms. Boyd because she's brought some insight into it that we would not have had.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, there are investors that are interested in the Coliseum. I'm going to go on and do my little spiel and then let Claudette take it from there.
Okay.
We have, I have met with several of the city council members. They're on board. I'm not going to drop names yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we met with several city council members and shown them our plan for renovating the Coliseum.
Wow.
They're on board. But being politicians, they just can't step out front right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they done let the wrong somebody know, because I'm going to kind of sort of put you out front one day. But anyway, we've given them a plan. The mayor said there was no productive plan for the Coliseum. We've created a plan. We've met with several people to design the plan, to do a graph of what can be done. And there's a hole in the city of Memphis what can be done for anything from 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Right.
The Coliseum is in good shape, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs repairs. You put repairs into everything else. Repair this.
Hold on, they gave $95 million for Carlisle to build a hotel.
Yeah.
That ain't for the citizens. How come you can't? I'm sorry.
But they wanted to put a soccer field there.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to run this and then I'm through. We gave them 7 other locations
To put a soccer field.
to put a soccer field. 7 other viable spaces to put a soccer field. They still want to tear down the Coliseum.
What are they building right there at Early Maxwell and Central? They done tore all that ground up. They building something
They're
there.
keeping it secret. It's secret.
They're building something
They're
right
building
there.
something.
Yeah.
The plan is to turn Liberty Park, that's what I'm going to call it, into an entertainment district. If you've ever been to Detroit, you see that's what they did. They've gentrified the neighborhood. They done bought up the Beltline. They done bought up part of Orange Mound, Airways, all that area. So what the folk in Orange Mound is supposed to do? Where's Rakeem and Timmy and Shaniqua supposed to go play basketball? Where
Wait a minute, they just built that big white building. Can't
those
Shaniqua?
are for out-of-town people.
Oh, you don't say.
It costs to go there.
I know.
So
I just thought I'd bring it out.
So Jaylon and Shakisha, where can they go and shoot basketball? Have a meeting, have a social event, have a church event. Where can they go? The Coliseum has been in our roots for years.
Yes, yes.
So give us that, City of Memphis. Invest in that, because I guarantee you that soccer field is seasonal.
Yes.
That Coliseum is year-round. And it can produce the funding that is needed to generate it running year-round. Consider this, powers that be, and make it happen. Miss Claudette, I'm going to shut up because I might go that way.
No, you said plenty.
You're in the right place, though, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to let you know that we're not in this by ourselves.
That's right.
Because this building belonged to the city of Memphis.
Yes.
And
The
what
citizens.
The citizens of Memphis built this building in 1964. And this building was the first building built for integration purposes
Wow.
that allowed black people to use restrooms and come through the front door.
Oh.
Because when I was a young girl,
Come on.
at 73 with Melrose High School, we had to jump the fence, go across the railroad track, come up in that Mid-South Coliseum, and we would tear it down because we had, Larry Finch and Ronnie Robinson.
Yeah.
We had
Memphis
basketball.
Tiger basketball,
Tiger
baby.
basketball there. Then we had high school championship games there.
Yep.
We had graduations there.
Yeah.
We had all kinds. Then you had wrestling.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we had to make sure we had all of that there. But so we're saying right now, what's wrong with us reclaiming that building, doing all the things we need to do to make it a viable part of our community
And our culture.
and our culture.
Wow.
So, I remember seeing Funkadelic,
Parliament.
Prince,
Woo.
James Brown,
Come on.
all of those things, the Beatles, everybody that was notable played the Coliseum.
Look, Led Zeppelin, they had rock concerts.
Yes, sir.
Elvis Presley,
Yes,
they
yes.
had, you know,
Bruce
it was
Springsteen.
multi-purpose, multifunctional, multiracial
Yes.
activities that were occurring in that
And
building.
even Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
Frank Sinatra came out, you know, that blew my mind. But I just want to let you know the wrestling itself brought enough money to pay for the Coliseum.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Wow.
The wrestling industry in Memphis was one of the biggest.
It was booming.
Yes, it was one of the biggest.
Jerry the
industries.
King Lawler, Bill Superstar Dundee. But I can take you all the way back to Wells Fargo, Haystack Calhoun, Sputnik, Tojo Yamamoto, you know what I mean? And then I can take you all the way back to the Ellis Auditorium, which is now the Cook Convention Center.
Yes,
If you really want to go back, you repurpose Ellis Auditorium.
you sure did. It's called Renaissance now.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It went through a couple of renovations.
Yes,
Yes.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So this Coliseum was built around the same time the Liberty Bowl was built.
Oh,
They
wow.
were built at the same time.
Okay.
So there was an agreement between the city and the county
Mm-hmm.
to finance and fund it.
Right.
So whatever happened to undermine the funding at the Coliseum, I think it was just making too much money, and somebody wanted to come in
Yeah.
And take over.
and take over. So after we've checked into all of these things, we just want the citizens of Memphis to know that we're not giving up, or we're not going to forget, and we're going to still fight. This is a good fight for us to fight. Because if we could start off something simple, then there's no good reason to tear down the Coliseum. None. None. We have the money, we have the financing, and this building is an all-purpose building. I sat down and thought about how many ways can we use the Coliseum effectively.
How many ways can we
I
use it?
came up with at least 25 ways.
Really?
Yes. Basketball games, high school championships, indoor track and field,
Wow.
roller derby, tractor pools, car shows, motorcycle cross racing, hockey, indoor soccer, circus, conventions,
Wow.
museums, emergency shelter, wrestling, Midtown City Hall, with great parking. Everyone don't have to go downtown to find a parking space to try to go to the court system. Why not have us a Midtown City Hall? Parking is free out there. You can park anywhere. You won't have to have a clerk office there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wanted to have it.
Yeah.
Might be a good clerk office for her.
Woo.
Look, all I'm saying, you have environmental court, human resources to be there. We can partnership. You know, we're surrounded by 3 colleges: the University of Memphis, Rhodes, and Christian Brothers.
Wow.
Those 3 colleges can use that for a multi-purpose gathering. Anything that the colleges can do to help the citizens of Memphis, that would be the center post for that. And then number one thing, emergency mass evacuation. I'm still having that police in me.
Yeah.
And with things going on with wars and
Oh.
earthquakes and things going on,
We don't have that.
Katrina.
Katrina.
What did everybody rally around?
they went to the stadium.
Yes.
They had no other place to go.
Yes.
In Orange Mountain, in the city of Memphis, we have no other marked place to go. And that has 2 Class A railroads right there
Right
at
there
the
to the
side.
side.
So that can mass move us where we need to go anywhere. And I'm still thinking, you know, and you can also use the stadium if it's an overflow. So we're talking about thousands of people
Yeah. Yeah.
or have a place to go to. And another thing, a community police substation. We always need another location for a substation for
Wow.
the police department.
Wow.
We can, my most important thing, massive transit. Mass transit. We can use the parkways to go to Carterville, to go to Bartlett, to Millington, to downtown, to all the places around Graceland, Blue Oval City. With a mass transit location there at the Coliseum,
Wow.
it's be constant movement
Wow.
in and out. I
Wow.
went to Seattle, Washington this year, and I was amazed. They have a mass transit on top of the ground, just like a train, It stops at every stop. It takes a minute. You get on and you keep it moving. You don't have to pay a fee.
What?
No, you don't have to pay a fee. And it moves thousands of people
A day.
every day, all day long.
Yes.
They don't have these old antiquated buses like we have here in Memphis.
Wow.
They break down and do. It's just so many things. You can have a rapid rail transit connection here in Memphis that can hook up to take us anywhere we need to go. And you're talking about that Blue Oval City? Those are 5,000 jobs.
Yes.
We're going to need people to be able to go in, out, come home, back and forth. Why not put the money into the infrastructure of the whole city of Memphis to make this place better?
You know,
Go ahead.
I never thought about all of those things, but what came to my mind was that building has been sitting there idle
Yes.
for at least 15, 20 years. At least 15,
Since
20
2006?
Since 2006, yeah, 15, 16, 17 years. And here you are, a citizen of this city, and you've thought about all of these things that this building could have been used for all of this time. But see, a lot of individuals, power brokers, politicians, they like to play the waiting game because they think the citizens will forget.
Yes.
And that, look, 15, 16, 17 years. You done had the Coliseum Coalition, you done had something revival.
Say the Coliseum Roundhouse.
Roundhouse Revival. I did Roundhouse Revival 1, Roundhouse Revival 2. You know what I mean? You done had all of these initiatives from different people, different areas in the city, and now you got Orange Mound that are the residents of a close proximity to the Coliseum. And you got all of these citizens who pay taxes, by the way, who tax dollars you, Mr. Strickland, are talking about using to spend $700 million to redo, and what did you call it, Liberty Park? Liberty Park, okay, because you want to redo Liberty Bowl, you want to build a soccer stadium, all of that. It ain't your money. That's our money, okay? We should get a voice in how that money is spent. You done already built that big white building over there, that an athletic facility or what have you, and I already knew that they were having AUSA, traveling sports, individuals that are going to pay to use the facility instead of the individuals who money you use to build a facility are the citizens of this city. They can't even go there unless they want to pay or what have you. And I think Ms. Boyd is most definitely correct. She's given all of these different repurposing and reuses of the Coliseum, and it just amazed me that with you guys up there, Mr. Strickland, City Council, power brokers in this city, everybody, I know you've thought about a lot of the things that we could have done, some of these things, but you refuse to actually allow us the ability as citizens to have something that we want with our tax dollars. You were going to say something.
Let me throw this in there. Let me tell you where the Coliseum Coalition stands as of today. I would be remiss if I did not mention Roy Barnes, Marvin Stockwell, Mark Jones, and other members of the Coliseum Coalition. Currently, we are in the process of getting a conservancy set up because it's a historical building. Okay. So currently we're setting up a conservancy. And I want to add to that, we do have some out-of-town investors that are very interested in bringing the city to its full potential. One such is Ken May. We've been in conversations with him, and he's a native Memphian, but he's got an exclusive background with money. Okay, let me put it like that. We appreciate his interest, and he wants to see this come to fruition. Now, to say this would be, I'm going to say it anyway.
Say it anyway, sister.
My thing is, Orange Mound is adjacent to the Coliseum.
Yes.
At one point in time, people would cross that track and go to work in the Coliseum.
Right.
People had jobs there.
Right.
So that would bring jobs back. Now, we've given them a plan. They've got a plan in hand. We're planning to go to city council. We're asking the public, join us.
That's right.
Show that you care about your history and preserving your history. We'll post the date that we're going to be at City Hall, and we'd love for you all to join. You better join us. I'll put it like that. Because this is your history. And there are a lot of people in Memphis that have this idea of making everything bright and shiny and new.
Mm-hmm.
You got old stuff you can polish up. Okay, so let's polish up the
Sears
Coliseum.
Crosstown.
Sears Crosstown. Look at Sears Crosstown.
Well, we just talked about
We can
the Renaissance
polish
Center.
up the
Yes.
Coliseum, make it viable for the people, the citizens, the constituency of Memphis. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be nice.
Let me ask this question. I know that you have a representative on the council. Well, you got a couple of, you actually got 4, because you got your super district as well. Are any of those, and you ain't got to call names right
They've
now.
all took the tour.
Okay, so are any of them interested in saving the Coliseum?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to know.
We met with each of the council members, I'll say 6 of the council members
Okay.
that support us.
Mm.
Now, that's not to say when it gets in
Get
the
to voting
political
time.
realm
Yeah.
that it's going to be supportive.
Right.
Because we all know how politicians can be.
Right.
But with this new generation of people that want to come into the political realm, a lot of them are supporting us.
Okay.
Not to just drop names, but Jared is one of our biggest supporters.
Okay.
And we want to save the Coliseum, y'all. This is a plea, awakening, and do the right thing.
Hey, we got a couple more minutes. If you want to talk to Miss Angela Barksdale or Miss Claudette Board, the number to call is 901-244-6874. 901-244-6874. And you can actually talk to Miss Barksdale or Miss Boyd if you got any questions in regards to the Coliseum. You guys are bringing out a lot of good information in regards to this Coliseum, and I'm so glad to see that the Save the Coliseum Coalition is still around. I thought it had died because I hadn't heard anything in regards to them for so long. I guess when Mr. Strickland talked about tearing it down again, then, you know, you guys had to kind of step out and get back into the public. Okay, so where do we go from here? What is it you guys, what can the citizens help you with to help try to save the Coliseum?
Go to our webpage, Coliseum Coalition, Save the Mid-South Coliseum, Facebook. Stay tuned to know the date that we want to bombard, and I do say bombard, City Hall. So you can show up with a sign or just holler, whatever. But we'd like to have your presence there to show up to let them know we want to save the Mid-South Coliseum. Stay tuned for dates when we will go to City Hall.
Okay.
And it'll be on the page.
Right.
I also want to say something about the non-compete clause.
Okay.
Everybody always bring up the
Yeah.
non-compete clause.
Yeah.
That non-compete clause does not necessarily hold the Coliseum because the Coliseum was there prior to all these other buildings being built.
Oh.
But it was, the non-compete clause came in because they were saying anything under 5,000 seatings. And that's exactly what the Coliseum would be, anything under 5,000 seats. So.
How many does the Coliseum hold?
It holds 10,000.
It holds 10,000.
Okay.
But because of the FedEx non-compete clause, they were saying that we couldn't have anything that would hold over that amount because it would be messing with
The FedEx Forum.
money.
FedEx Forum.
And then the pyramid was before that.
Mm-hmm.
And where's the pyramid now? Just sitting
The
there.
pyramid is owned by a private industry.
No, Pyramid is now Bass Pro Shop.
Pro Shop.
That's what Bass Pro Shop is. They took it and converted it. We gave it to Bass.
It's all about the money, y'all. I'm gonna put it like this.
Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Okay, so figure that into your
Hey,
equation.
and check this out. I'm not even knocking Bass Pro Shop. Been there, like to look at the alligators, like to go in there and look at the
I've never been.
the four-wheel. And then they got a nice restaurant upstairs.
I've never been.
They got a hotel upstairs. But it goes back to what you just said, repurposing.
That's it.
They repurposed the pyramid and turned it into one of the largest Bass Pro shops in the South.
Do you not think that that was the initial intention?
And Bass Pro, private.
Yes.
Do you not think that
Yes.
was not the initial
Well,
intention?
but you know, Mr. Strickland, yeah, I keep calling your name Jim,
Okay.
because I can. But do you know, Mr. Strickland, one of his intents was initially to put a box store over there at the fairground. He wanted a Target. Yeah, they wanted to commercialize. They thought about putting, housing.
But I'm
Do you remember?
I'm gonna tell you what else they did. They met with Young residents and promised them that they would not put any restaurants over there to detour people
To
coming
take
from
away
Cooper
from,
Young.
yeah,
What they got?
take away from Overton Square.
Take away from Overton Square and Cooper Young.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Cooper Young's a little pissed. Overton Square, they gonna make their money anyway. But Cooper Young, that's another neighborhood initiative that
Right.
you're doing to destroy neighborhoods.
And do you know Cooper Young is one of the most on the rise communities
Yes.
Most
in the United
definitely.
States?
Most
Yes.
definitely.
In the United States.
Yes.
Jesus. And historic. But go ahead.
Well, with the TDZ's own money.
Ooh, let's not even talk about that, but go ahead.
That's where the money is.
Okay.
TDZ is the money that comes from the state. And it gives it to the city based on tourism, all that kind of stuff.
Can I correct that a little bit?
Okay, correct.
TDZ is a tax designated
Designated
zone.
zone.
Okay. And actually, our city council votes to set up a TDZ. What happens is the regular tax rate is 9.725. But when you establish a TDZ, a lot of times it goes up to almost 14%.
40%. That's right.
Okay, so it's actually taxes that citizens of the city of Memphis are paying, because anytime you go into that TDZ, you have to pay that extra money. And also tourists that come into the city, because they're hoping, that's why they're hoping that, you know, it draws individuals in, because the more people it draw in, the more money that is generated. Because if Mr. Strickland is going to get those $700 million, a lot of that is going to be bonds that they're going to have to get, that's going to be charged toward the city, that the citizens are going to be responsible for and have to pay off, even though they're going to go into what you call public-private partnerships
Yes.
with different businesses, just like you were speaking of Bass Pro.
That's right.
All the renovations, a lot of renovations that was done to Bass Pro was done with tax designated zone money, because the Renaissance Center, a portion of downtown, the Pyramid, Bass Pro now, all of that's a TDZ. And a lot of us citizens are paying for it.
What about Central Station?
TDZ,
Central Station.
TDZ,
Okay.
they're quick to designate a TDZ. Sears Crosstown.
Sears Crosstown.
TDZ?
TDZ.
What?
Yes.
Well, I guess TDZ made its round, but it's just gonna drop us off in Orange Mountain.
But you're going to pay for it.
Oh,
We gonna pay for it.
We always
But
pay.
you're going to pay for it, though.
We always pay. But I'm just saying right now,
Right.
for us to be this close to this building and all the renovations that's going on, all the land is being bought up. If you go down Southern Street now, it's almost bare. They bought even from the Coca-Cola building.
Yeah.
Oh, they done bought that up, too?
Well, and that was
Yeah.
one of the places we said that they could put a soccer field. If you just destined on having a soccer
Soccer
field,
field, yeah.
we've given you 7 locations within that space to put a soccer field. You know, that's seasonal. Soccer is seasonal. Coliseum is year round. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, don't be quiet.
No,
Don't be quiet.
That's a good, I mean, what you're saying is true. But another thing about that is, you're gonna bring all this tourism in town. What about security? What kind of security are they setting up for all these people you want to bring to the Liberty Park, so forth? and we live, Orange Mountain is 5 minutes away,
And crime is on the
and
rise.
crime is on the rise, and you're not doing anything to buffer or to assist with the crime problem that we already have.
It's all about the money, y'all.
Well, you better believe, though, if they build all that stuff over there, they're going to dedicate police resources
To do that.
to be able to protect that gold nugget. But what they don't understand is the resilience of a lot of the criminals in this city.
people.
Because
More cars over there, more cars to steal.
I took my daughter to see that they had the circus over there. They could put that circus inside the Coliseum. But I took my daughter to Circus Olay or whatever that thing was they had set up over there on the parking lot of right outside that little white building right next to it. They had a circus. It was this summer. And I took my daughter there. Do you know they were breaking in all kinds of cars out there?
Well, you know, that law enforcement background came up.
Right.
And I told them, I said, well, what are you going to do to help our Orange Mountain community and in other communities when we're on the outskirts of all this tourism, people coming in, hundreds of people coming in and going out.
Thousands.
Well, thousands. We'll go thousands. If you have the Coliseum open and you have the stadium open, stadium open only, what, 6-7 times a year?
Yeah, but, well, they're opening more than that now because now they got the USFL Football League. They got, but I was gonna talk about what's
Southern Heritage Classic.
Southern Heritage Classic.
You can have, why we
Hold
gotta
on,
go to Mississippi?
50-some thousand people. 50-some thousand people, and who are those?
So, why do we have to go to the Landers Center to have concerts?
Ooh, don't get
you
me
got
started.
tailgating, the game,
Don't get
and the
me started.
Coliseum. You can have concerts in the Coliseum. You can do everything can be done right there.
Yeah.
Why we got to give Mississippi money?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Why we got to give Mississippi money? We got everything right there.
Look, they did that on purpose because I can remember going right before they closed it down. A lot of the acts that were going into the Mid-South Coliseum were African American.
That's right.
They were African American. Who were attending those concerts?
African
A lot of us older African Americans.
More seasoned.
Seasoned African Americans.
Yes.
And I think that it is a travesty that we have an African American city council. And I'm not trying to make this racist, but I am saying that at some point you have to represent the interests of the individuals that have put you in office. Or you know me, I'm about getting your ass out of there. Period. And I'll just call it point blank how it is. Now, a lot of people may not feel the way that I do, but I'm sick of the dumb stuff. You know, I'm sick of individuals that are representing us that we put on there, and then they never, ever vote our interests. But if you can approve $700 million for Mr. Strickland to redo Liberty Park, if you can approve Mr. Strickland and the city council allocating $95 million to Mr. Chase Carlisle, and I'm not knocking helping businesses and developments, and hey, more power to you, Mr. Carlisle, but I'm saying there has to be a parallel.
Yes.
You know, you can't always dedicate that money toward the power brokers in this city and those individuals that you think that you have made multi-historical family wealth millionaires. We ain't trying to be millionaires. We're just trying to live a good quality of life.
And have something for our children.
Yes.
I don't care what, I do want to be a millionaire. I would love to be a millionaire.
Well, I would like to be one,
I would
but
love for my children to be.
Okay.
I would love for legacy. Our communities need to have black millionaires.
okay, there you go.
Why not?
Or at least generational wealth.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
good.
saying any individual in this city, whether they're African American, Chinese,
Yes.
Asian, African, Hispanic, Caucasian, what have you. I believe that anybody that works hard, that puts it in, that
Yes.
does it in an honest way, and you have the ability to climb that ladder, hey man, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? But there needs to be a level playing field.
It does. I think any contract that the city of Memphis gives, you could be an instant millionaire.
They
One
done,
contract can make you a millionaire.
they done twisted these WBEs or MWBEs and all of that kind of
I
stuff.
just don't know why.
Yeah, well.
Why?
You know, it's funny because they allow things to happen because, you know, if I'm a millionaire and I wanted to get that contract, and this is what's happening. Miss Angela is my wife. I turned the company over to her.
That's
Or I put the company in her name.
In her name.
I'm still running it every day. Every day, I'm still running it. But I put it in my wife Angela's name. And Angela has a good chance to get that contract because you have to give minority businesses a lot of times. And I'm not knocking giving minority business, but I'm saying, look, there needs to be some delineation in regards to how these contracts are awarded and some background looked into because some of the same people are still getting the contract. They just put a different face in front of the company.
And on a side note to that, going into another area, that's something that my girl Brittany is bringing to the forefront now.
Okay.
About minority contracts with the city.
Yep.
And so Memphis politics is jacked up right now.
Oh, Lord. Come on, Angela. Come on, Angela.
So
I ain't going to be the only one.
I mean, I'm just saying.
What the hell,
you
y'all
got
back.
some good ones up there and you got some bad ones. But the good ones are scared to come against the bad ones because they're scared of politics. If you run for office, do what you say you're going to do. Be there for the constituents that put you there. Don't become tainted and become political.
Okay.
This message is going out to all politicians, and y'all know me, so y'all know I ain't just talking. You got to give it back to the people.
Come
you
on.
got to show the people that, hey, I'm here for y'all. I'm not, I done made it now, so that's what a lot of y'all doing.
I just want to say, too, to the citizens of Memphis, don't give up.
Woo.
Sometimes we get overwhelmed. I do, too. I get overwhelmed when you see so much going on, and it seems like nothing's going right. Nothing going our way. But I'm here to tell you that there is hope. And I want to encourage everybody, stand your ground. You men, stand your ground. Ladies, stand your ground. We have to stand for something. We've always been over. We've always tried to be good and nice and kind. I'm just asking you, don't give up on the city of Memphis. Don't give up on our communities. And don't give up on our children, that we can make this right.
Wow.
So I just do believe in Memphis. I believe in our people.
I believe in Memphis. You done made me a believer.
All right then. Let's have church.
Woo.
I'm just saying right now, we so beat down. The news is always bad. Nothing good just about. So I'm telling you right now, come and join us. Get behind with us. I ain't gonna say get behind us, because with some of us might get pushed out the way.
Right.
But just get with us. Get with the spirit.
Okay.
Don't be downtrodden all your life. Get up. We can do better. We can act better. We can live better. It's money in Memphis, Tennessee. No matter what Nashville or Tennessee state legislators do, they can't get around Memphis. They spent $60 million for some grass and dirt down there on the side of Riverside Drive, didn't it? $60 million on grass and dirt.
Yeah.
But the money keeps going out, and we sitting here with nothing.
Right.
So we're asking you, all your citizens and all the people in the city of Memphis, get up. Stop being downtrodden. This is Memphis. We're going to run this thing. We're going to make this thing work, with or without you.
Wow.
We're going to make this thing work.
On that note, I want to thank her because she says the right thing. Sometimes I don't. I want to thank Mike for having us here to put our message out. We want you all to stay tuned, be a part of something, or you'll fall for anything.
Hey, I want to thank you both, Miss Angela Barksdale and the infamous Miss Claudette Boyd, for joining me here today on Memphis 360. And I just want to say it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure. So until next week, same time, same location, be blessed, be strong, be encouraged, and we'll see you next week.
2 fingers round, 3 fingers down, Orange Man.
Oh! So until next week, same time, same location, be blessed, be strong, be encouraged, and we'll see you next week.
2 fingers round, 3 fingers down, Orange Man.
Oh!
SVP.